Hello everyone. In today's video, we will go over 10 topics ranging from general tips about distribution, to quick explanations of different topics. Hopefully this list will help new players understand some of the game mechanics that can be essential when certain difficulty settings are turned on, like complex education, or seasons. Number 1. Tools for domestic distribution. First, you have to decide what kind of transport is most suitable for a given task. Generally speaking, road vehicles are best at doing local, short-range distribution. Trains are well suited for long-range haulage, picking up products at one part of your republic and taking it to another part, several kilometers away. The remaining options are rather situational. Ships are very good at exporting bulk goods you make a lot, like fuel. While helicopters are well suited for selling goods that are very high value, but produced slowly, like nuclear fuel. When setting up a train distribution line, say, taking food across your country, I first tell the train to load up on the product in question, then lay out a route that is as efficient as possible, ending at the border. This way the train will first drop off supplies where they are needed, and whatever is left over will be sold for extra profit. In case of food, I place a warehouse near my city, where it is stored for local deliveries, and the rest are sold. When I start producing other goods used by my citizens, like clothes or electronics, the same warehouse can be used to drop those off too. I only have to redesign the rails, so the trains carrying the other products can wait in line while something else is being unloaded. At that point trucks take over, and pick up the food from the warehouse and take it to the local shops. It is up to you how you want to set this part up. If your citizens buy goods fast enough that a single truck cannot handle the throughput, using the line spacing option is very handy, ensuring that deliveries arrive regularly. The good thing about this system is that it is easily upgradable. For example, if trains don't have enough product at the border to sell, or worse yet, one of the drop-off points don't receive any goods because all of it were dropped off at the previous stop, you need to ramp up production. Or if production isn't the issue, you can just add more trains to the line, or add more cars to the existing ones to improve throughput. To sum up, have two levels of distribution: long range and local. Long range picks stuff up at the source, drops it off at different points of your republic, and finishes by selling any remaining goods at the border. Local distribution picks products up where trains unloaded them, and takes them to the actual building where they are used. Most of the time you can skip the local distribution completely. Industries often take care of it with conveyor belts and pipes. But in cities, it is almost unavoidable. Even if you connect the drop-off warehouse straight to a shopping center, eventually the city will grow big enough to require another grocery store. Number 2. Have a list of production priorities. It's always a good idea to plan ahead. Decide early what are more important to you. Money, being self-sufficient, being an industrial powerhouse? Whatever your goal is, plan accordingly. Also, do you want to start at the bottom of the supply chain, working towards an end product? Or do you want to start producing cars right away, and slowly work towards eliminating imports? Both approaches are viable. You can start by building oil pumps, selling crude oil while you build your refineries. Or you can build a refinery, and import oil while you plan out your extraction infrastructure. Both approaches have their ups and downsides. Starting with the end product is more expensive, but turns big profits faster, while building upwards starts out slow, but is a much safer investment of time and money. Number 3. Moving road vehicles around. Once you are at the point where you are producing your own trucks and machinery, you'll need a way to distribute them around your republic. The easiest way is to use the icon with the house on it. It will assign that vehicle to a depot, construction office, or wherever you want them to go. The vehicle will leave and drive to its new home. Alternatively, if you have a big enough truck with an open back, you can load the vehicle onto it, reassign the truck to the new base, and unload it there. This is very handy for moving slow-moving machinery over long distances, like diggers, bulldozers, pavers, etc. It might be a good idea to have separate vehicle facilities for domestic use and exports. The export-focused factory can feed straight into a train station, so cars can be moved to the border straight away. The one manufacturing vehicles for use at home can have its output stay in the factory's own storage yard, and trucks can come pick them up. You only have to set up a delivery route from the factory to the vehicle's destination, and any vehicle produced there will be delivered. Two things to keep in mind: If the endpoint is a depot, then the delivery will be done once and then it will stop. And if the endpoint is not a depot, it will repeat forever. Even if all the produced machinery have been delivered already, the truck will run empty, back and forth. Because of this, if you need to deliver more than one vehicle to a destination other than a depot, you'll want to keep an eye on that line, so you can stop it once everything has been delivered. Also, the truck knows what vehicles are accepted at its destination and only picks up what's necessary. If you produce a couple cars and a snowplow, and the delivery only goes to a road maintenance depot, then the truck will only pick up the snowplow. And speaking of producing your own vehicles. Number 4. You can manufacture outdated vehicles. If you like to use a particular truck, maybe for its looks or very specific characteristics, but it is no longer available for purchase, you can still make it yourself. When buying blueprints for vehicles, all previous models are up for purchase, even the outdated ones. So don't feel sad if your favorite old clunker is no longer purchasable. Just make it yourself. Number 5. Putting home-built trains to use. It is almost the same as it is with road vehicles. If you tell a locomotive to go to a train factory for pickup, it will attach all the trains and cars waiting in the yard to its back and deliver them wherever you tell it to. If the endpoint is a border customs house, all the cars and extra locomotives will be sold, and the line repeats forever. But if the endpoint is a depot, then the cars will be dropped off and the line will terminate. At that point you can drag and drop the cars in the depot between trains like usual. So, as it is with cars, it is best to have separate facilities for export, and for building trains for domestic use. While one continually churns out new stock for sale, the other can be told to only have limited production queues, and only build what you tell it to. Number 6. Terrain alteration is an easy money saver. When you start out, it can be a good idea to have a dedicated construction office for terrain alterations. All you need are excavators for raising and lowering the ground, and bulldozers are used to level and smooth terrain features. Keep in mind that these machines still use fuel, so either keep the office supplied with fuel and electricity for uninterrupted operation, or have a fuel station nearby. Even if the complete construction infrastructure isn't finished, and you have a lot of groundwork that need doing, you can save quite a bit of cash by doing this. Number 7. You have to pay for work hours when quick building. Whenever you decide to use money to quickly build something, you're not only paying for the materials and their delivery costs, but for the hours of work the foreign powers put into the building. Even if you import every single piece of resource needed for a construction, you are still saving a lot of money if you use domestic workforce. You can build the necessary storages that get filled up by either quick buying, or by buying at the border and delivering by vehicles, and you can link it all to a construction office. You are still paying for the materials, but not for the work hours, so you end up saving money. From there, you can start building the necessary industries, so you can slowly eliminate the cost of importing the materials. Number 8. Quick buying is good for critical industries. There are certain buildings in your republic that are essential for survival. Heating plants, power stations, grocery stores, etc. Even if you are 100% confident in your delivery network, it is still a good idea to have a minimal amount of resources being quick bought in these facilities in case of an emergency. You can inadvertently sever the supply chain for one of these critically important resources, and, let's say, coal doesn't arrive to your heating plant in the dead of winter, you'll start seeing people freezing to death real quick. Telling your heating plant to start buying coal if their supply drops below 3 tons will ensure that even if things go wrong, they will never go so wrong that people start dying. Speaking of heating. Number 9. You might want to plan your heating backwards. The quirk of the central heating system is that the water in your pipes lose temperature the further they have to go. At the same time, heating plants put out quite a bit of pollution, so it is best to have them away from cities. Heating pipes have enough pressure in them to move the water for about 1,000 meters. After that you need to add a pump, but at this point losses in heat energy due to distance is starting to become a problem. So, instead of guesstimating the distance between your heating plant and your city, you can build the heat exchanger first, drag the pipe as far as it will go, and build the heating plant at that point. Just make sure you plan for the inevitable expansion of your town. Maybe don't go the full 1,000 meters, 6 to 700 meters should be fine. Far enough for pollution, but close enough for expanding further if need be. Number 10. It's good to know about citizen categories. When you look at the population statistics, it's beneficial to know who does what. Thankfully, the game provides us with everything we need to know in this window. Workers are the productive members of your society. They work in factories, sell your goods in shops, staff entertainment facilities, teach children, etc. They are further divided into education levels. Citizens without education cannot work. With basic schooling, they can do regular work that don't need special training, like factory and retail jobs, harvesting crops, etc. Citizens with university educations are your teachers, engineers, government employees, etc. Small children require a kindergarten. If you don't build one of the parents will have to stay home, and they cannot work, severely impacting the overall productivity of your citizens. School-aged children don't require constant supervision, but they require schools to become educated workers. To ensure they are employable when they grow up, you need to build a school. Any adult that didn't receive an education as children will also go to school and eventually become productive. And the last category are adults still living with their parents. They cannot enter the workforce until they can move out. When you see this number start going up, it's time to build some new apartments. Or if you are happy with the current number of workers, you can ignore it. Eventually these citizens will quote-unquote escape your country, looking for opportunities abroad. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I sincerely hope you learned something new about the game. This video was a bit of a chore to put together. My PC isn't powerful enough to allow capturing game footage while editing the video at the same time. But I managed to do it in the end, and I hope it was worth a couple new gray hairs on my head. If you'd like me to keep doing this, dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel just might motivate me to do more. Until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you later.